Leaks from Apple have lately been just ways for Chinese phone makers to show how fast they can do stuff. First, it was last year's orange that personally I never came to love, but nevertheless, all of them followed blindly. And now it's this year's yet to be seen burgundy that I absolutely do love. Xiaomi's at it again with yet another phone this year, another attempt at hopefully making some good money, but I feel like it could actually be something this time around. This is the new Redmi K100 Pro Max in the most beautiful color it comes in, Apple Burgundy. The company, not the fruit. The back cover is very similar, if not identical, but hand feel has definitely improved. The overall design is very similar to last year's K90 Pro Max, the difference being, first of all, the no longer protruding camera lenses, which is a good thing, then a sort of a mesh under the Bose logo on the subwoofer, and then the flat screen but slightly curved edges on the back that without a doubt resemble an iPhone 17 Pro/Pro Max very much. Also, there's a little light ring around the subwoofer now that you can set to turn on and flash and dance around when there's a call or a notification or something. Speaking of the subwoofer, the speaker system is, although not noticeably any different than Redmi's big loud boy from last year, still very impressive nevertheless. Almost the best on any phone ever, and I say almost just in case there's a better one that I can't remember right now. Exquisite bass and rich mids and nice treble. The bass does get softer when you turn it up all the way, but there's still very little distortion. The 6.9-inch 2608x1200 display panel is definitely more than bright enough now, unlike the dull and boring one on its predecessor. Also, it can go all the way up to 185 Hz, which is really crazy for a phone when you think about it, but here we are anyways. The bezels are nice and thin at 1.2 millimeters. They're also symmetrical, which is a really good thing, though they could be even thinner and nicer, but I'm not complaining. Looks nice enough. For brains, alongside my 16 gigs of LPDDR5X Ultra, whatever that is, memory, we've naturally got Snapdragon's 8 Elite Gen 5. Thankfully not the toned down economic version that they're calling V now, which is what the K100 Pro comes with. There would basically be one less GPU core to deal with. And keeping the lights on is a massive 9070 mAh slab of battery that seems very promising for as long as I've used it, but we'll see to that soon. The camera system has received an overhaul as well, with a 200 megapixel main sensor now, and then a 50 megapixel periscope that starts at 5 times, and a 50 megapixel ultrawide, which we're going to see in action right about now. I'll start with the telephoto because of how well I believe it performs now. It detects objects to focus on very conveniently with a simple tap on different layers of proximity to the phone without struggling. Colors are pleasant and not oversaturated, although light control can sometimes be a bit of a hit or miss depending on how big or small a subject is or how the lighting is. But AI intervenes noticeably at past 20 times, and turning AI zoom enhancement on or off doesn't really do much about it. Xiaomi has done some work on Super Macro too, nowhere near Vivo or Oppo territory, but it's still not bad at all. And doing some manual work on your white balance and exposure settings can make things much more realistic as well. The main sensor is a good one too, especially outdoors. Good colors and good detail with it. 200 megapixel mode does take a good few seconds to capture every shot, but the result is satisfactory. There's less funny business with exposure and light control, and detail retention is, well, very promising against the default 12.5 megapixel. The periscope obviously captures more detail, but with a bit more of Xiaomi's usual exaggerated tuning. The ultrawide is not bad at all either. Exposure can still be a bit too harsh, but there is good detail and good consistency with the other sensors. This one's just to show the dynamic range, which is, again, satisfactory across all 3 sensors. You can see what's outside in the sunlight as well as what's inside. The ultrawide does go a little reddish in this scenario though, but on the telephoto, there's even a very soft bokeh on the farthest stuff outside, which is nice. Now, another area where the K90 Pro Max struggled was heat management, always crashing my Wildlife Extreme stress test. I'm hoping to see some real improvement this time with the new really big vapor chamber that they claim they've thrown in there. Now for our starting point, we are currently sitting at around 31.5 on the back and 31.1 degrees on the front. And with that, we are going right into a Wildlife Extreme stress test to see how we're doing under sustained load and a lot of pressure. See you in a bit. It breaks my heart to say that the overheating issue seems to remain. The new Redmi K100 Pro Max crashed on my first attempt at Wildlife Extreme stress test, after which I gave it a few minutes to cool all the way down to around 30 degrees and even less on the back. And then I also enabled performance mode, which is called ultimate mode here, which I'm going to turn off right now because it didn't help at all, because the phone still crashed. So while it is definitely better in almost every single category than the K90 Pro Max, the new Redmi K100 Pro Max seems to still struggle with performance and heat management. That being said though, I haven't completely lost hope yet, because a benchmark isn't everything. Also, what I noticed in my initial testing, setting up the phone and messing with the camera and everything, is actually how comfortable the phone felt in my hands, temperature-wise. So, in all honesty, this could be just some sort of an optimization problem with the benchmark or something. At any rate, let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.